The fight against Glazier ownership is going to continue on Saturday before the game with Norwich City. United fans are going to have a protest. The 1958 group wants to protest to mark the start of a sustained campaign against the Glazers, who are deeply unpopular. We need to remove them. There's no doubt about it. I've been on record a number of times. Man United cannot be successful with the Glazers in charge. There's no doubt about it. They can't be successful. Sir Alex was successful in spite of the Glazers, not because of the Glazers, and that's a very big difference. Because he was a genius, and him and Gill, and we had obviously players from the class of '92, and we had a core of players that were bought before Glazier ownership in 2005. Sir Alex managed for some 8 years after Glazier ownership to be successful. It's not possible. It really isn't possible. When you've got 25 to 35 million pounds in dividends, of interest payments flowing out of the club, the debt hasn't been paid off at all, and you've got sort of 15, 20 million pounds of dividend payments, you're talking net 50 to 70 million pounds flowing out of the club. Now, if the club made a billion pounds a year free cash flow, it's fine. But the club barely makes £100 million. So you're saying that like 50% of its revenue is going to service debt, and for these greedy Glaziers to, have dividends as they're the major shareholders. So that's the first thing. The other thing is the stadium's falling down and the training ground is way, way behind. So the fans group have said that we need to change, we need to remove the head of the snake. There's that saying, isn't there? A fish rots from the head down, and it's rotten from top to bottom. And this is a unique situation due to the level of debt. But we need, United fans, we need to continue the pressure on them. I don't know if they care. I don't know if they care at all. Their bolt for the Super League, like, people need to remember one thing: the Super League was their idea, by the way. It wasn't just Real Madrid; it was Man United were the architects of this, and that's because they want Champions League football, Champions League money, more specifically, without having to sort of be competitive. And fortunately, the Super League hasn't gone ahead, and I hope that it never goes ahead. So this was their way of getting the top four money and, having sort of showcase games. That hasn't happened, so maybe that will push them to sell. But Manchester United is such a lucrative, cash-generative business that maybe the Glazers will never sell. And if you want to buy it from them, maybe the only people that can buy it are going to be human rights abusers from the Gulf Cooperation Council. So it depends what you prefer. I mean, if we have the bloody Qataris or the Saudis or whatever, God, that would be a disaster as well. And well, let's see what happens. We just need a concerted amount of pressure. Anyone that's pro-Glazier isn't a United fan and is a disgrace. And we need to continue that pressure on the Glaziers. And I don't know what's going to change. I must admit, I don't know what's going to change. I don't think they give any two shits about anything. They call us legacy fans. I don't think they give two shits. If they can get their dividend and their royalty out, I don't think they care. They can get it. All they want is top four and their money. And the asset probably goes up in price. And it has gone up in price. They paid like 850 million quid for it. Probably worth 3 billion, 5 billion. So it's a disaster. It's a real disaster. And if they left and we could pay the debt off and not have any dividends, United would compete, no problem. And if financial fair play was implemented, United would have the biggest organic revenue in Europe, probably. We'd easily compete. But at this point, we can't. Glazier's out, and I just don't see anything changing with Ten Hag or whoever. There's no, it's rotten. All of it's rotten. So anyway, that's my rant. If you can go to the protest on Saturday, go there. Let's put some pressure on these fuckers and get them out.